Today at the Left Library, we're exploring Samir Amin's insightful work, Global History, A View from the South, published in 2010. This book offers a critical analysis of global history from a Southern perspective, challenging the dominant Eurocentric narratives that often marginalize the contributions of non-Western societies. Amin's work provides a refreshing and necessary re-examination of historical processes and the roles played by societies outside the Western world. The main concepts that this episode will draw from his work are 1. Critique of Eurocentric narratives, 2. The contributions of non-Western societies in historical global economic development, 3. Historical materialism and global interactions, 4. Colonialism and its legacy, 5. Post-colonial challenges and alternative futures. Critique of Eurocentric narratives. Samir Amin begins his analysis by critiquing the Eurocentric narratives that have long dominated the study of global history. He argues that these narratives present European development as the pinnacle of human progress, while the histories of non-Western societies are either ignored or portrayed as static and inferior. Amin writes, Eurocentrism creates a distorted view of world history by glorifying the West and diminishing the contributions of other cultures. Amin emphasizes that Eurocentrism is not just a bias in historical interpretation, but a political tool that legitimizes Western dominance and colonialism. By framing history in terms of European superiority, Eurocentric narratives justify the exploitation and marginalization of non-Western societies. Amin challenges this by highlighting the dynamic and significant contributions of these societies to global development. He provides detailed accounts of how the economic, scientific, and cultural advancements of non-Western civilizations have been fundamental to global progress. For example, Amin discusses how the economic structures of African kingdoms, the scientific advancements in the Islamic world, and the complex societies in pre-Columbian America played crucial roles in their regions and influenced global interactions. He states, the historical achievements of the South have been systematically undervalued in order to perpetuate the myth of Western superiority. Contributions of non-Western societies. Amin meticulously documents the contributions of non-Western societies to global history, emphasizing that these contributions are often overlooked or undervalued in mainstream historical accounts. He discusses advancements made by civilizations such as China, India, the Islamic world, and Africa in various fields, including science, technology, mathematics, and philosophy. Amin states, the achievements of non-Western societies laid the foundations for many aspects of modern civilization. In the case of China, Amin highlights the development of technologies such as paper-making, printing, the compass, and gunpowder, which were crucial for global development. He also emphasizes India's contributions to mathematics, such as the concept of zero and the decimal system, which were fundamental to the advancement of global mathematical thought. Amin writes, the Indian numeral system was a revolutionary contribution that transformed mathematics and science. Similarly, the Islamic Golden Age saw significant advancements in medicine, astronomy, and philosophy. Scholars like Avicenna and Al-Khwarizmi made groundbreaking contributions that were later transmitted to Europe, fueling the Renaissance and scientific revolution. Amin states, the knowledge and scientific advancements from the Islamic world were critical to the development of modern science. Historical materialism and global interactions. Samir Amin applies a historical materialist framework to analyze global interactions, emphasizing the importance of economic and material conditions in shaping historical development. He argues that global history should be understood through the lens of interactions and exchanges between different societies, rather than as a linear progression dominated by the West. Amin writes, global history is a complex web of interactions where multiple civilizations have influenced each other. By focusing on these interactions, Amin highlights the reciprocal influences between the global North and South. He points out that the spread of crops, technologies, and ideas through trade and conquest created a dynamic and interconnected world long before the rise of European hegemony. For example, the spread of the compass and gunpowder from China to Europe facilitated European exploration and colonization, which in turn reshaped global power structures. Amin states, the interconnectedness of civilizations through trade and cultural exchange was a driving force in global development. Colonialism and its legacy. A significant part of Amin's analysis is his examination of colonialism and its lasting impact on global history. He argues that colonialism was not just a period of European expansion, but a transformative process that reshaped societies worldwide. Amin displays how the exploitation and extraction of resources from the global south were fundamental to the development of capitalism in the global north. He states, colonialism established a world system characterized by unequal exchange and persistent inequalities. Amin discusses how colonial powers imposed economic structures that benefited the core nations while impoverishing the colonies. This legacy of unequal development continues to shape the global economy, perpetuating disparities between the North and South. For example, the extraction of raw materials from Africa and their processing into finished goods in Europe created a dependent economic relationship that hindered industrial development in African countries. A familiar structure even today. Amin writes, the colonial economic order entrenched a system of dependency and underdevelopment that persists to this day. Post-colonial challenges and alternatives. Amin also addresses the challenges faced by post-colonial societies in their efforts to develop independently of Western dominance. He critiques the neo-colonial practices that continue to exploit these regions through economic policies imposed by international financial institutions like the IMF and the World Bank. Amin argues for alternative development paths that prioritize self-reliance, regional integration, and social justice. He writes, true independence requires breaking free from the neo-colonial stranglehold and pursuing development strategies that serve the interests of the people. He advocates for a multipolar world where power is more evenly distributed and where countries of the global south can develop on their own terms. Amin supports regional cooperation and solidarity among developing nations as a means to counteract the dominance of Western economic models. He highlights successful examples of such alternatives, such as the economic policies of countries like China and Vietnam, which have achieved significant development by diverging from the neoliberal paradigm. The paradigm of liberalization, privatization, and financialization, usually superimposed on so-called post-colonial nations by Western-built institutions like the IMF and World Bank. Amin states, the experiences of countries that have pursued independent development strategies provide valuable lessons for the global south. Impact and legacy. Samir Amin's global history. A View from the South has had a profound impact on the study of global history and development. By challenging Eurocentric narratives and emphasizing the contributions of non-Western societies, Amin provides a more inclusive and accurate account of global historical processes. His work encourages scholars and students to critically examine the biases in traditional historical accounts and to recognize the interconnectedness of global development. Amin's emphasis on the lasting impact of colonialism and the need for alternative development strategies resonates with contemporary discussions about global inequality and the pursuit of sustainable and just economic models. His call for regional integration and solidarity among developing nations remains relevant as countries in the global south continue to seek ways to assert their independence and build equitable societies. Conclusion. Samir Amin's global history. A View from the South is a crucial text for anyone interested in understanding global history from a non-Western perspective. For those new to the concept, it offers a clear and comprehensive critique of Eurocentric narratives and highlights the significant contributions of non-Western societies. For those familiar with global history, it provides deeper insights into the interconnectedness of historical processes and the lasting impact of colonialism. Amin's work challenges us to rethink traditional historical narratives and to appreciate the diverse and complex interactions that have shaped our world. His emphasis on the importance of economic and material conditions in historical development offers valuable lessons for contemporary discussions about global inequality and development. So, what do you think about Amin's critique of Eurocentrism? Did you find his examples of non-Western contributions to global history enlightening? How do you view the legacy of colonialism in today's global economy? We'd love to hear your thoughts and perspectives on these questions. Drop your comments below and let's start a conversation. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Samir Amin's global history, A View from the South. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and fellow enthusiasts. Don't forget to subscribe to the Left Library for simplified left-wing literature. Click the notification bell so you never miss an update. We simplify political philosophy, political economy, and political science to make them accessible and engaging for everyone. Thank you again for watching, and remember, understanding the theories behind social change is the first step towards making a real difference. Keep questioning, keep learning, and keep striving for a better world.